Hey, I'm Alex Radical from BoardGameCo, and today I'm doing a video that I used to do a bunch of these, and I haven't done one in a while, and I'm long overdue. In fact, I want to do more of these, but let's start with today and see how the future takes us. Basically, this is a shout out to a bunch of content creators that I enjoy watching, and I think you should definitely check out if you haven't already. That's what this is. Not necessarily my top 10 favorite content creators, that would possibly be too much of a stretch. I would say that, that sounded negative, that wasn't meant to be negative. These are 10 YouTube content creators, specifically YouTube content creators, that I find myself actively watching their content. There are a lot of content creators that I think are fantastic that I've talked about in the past, that I'll talk about in the future, but I do think that I go in ebbs and flows. There's different periods in which I watch different people, and sometimes I stop watching a channel for a bit, come back to them later, sometimes I'm benefiting from their content, sometimes they're less active as a channel, but these are 10 content creators who I find that I don't necessarily watch all of the videos, but their videos, when they pop up, I'm definitely intrigued to watch them, and I watch a decent amount of their content, at least right now. Some of these will be channels that you've heard me talk about a lot. Some of these are channels that I may not have mentioned at all. Some of these are channels I mentioned once or twice. There is a wide mix here. Like again, if you've been a long time watcher, some names here will definitely be familiar, but many others will not. I'm going to go ahead and dive into it, but before I do, a shout out to our sponsor, Allplay. Allplay is a channel sponsor. You can go ahead and check out their site for a variety of different things. Check it out in the link down below. But what I want to talk about today is their bags. They have premium board game bags. They are the bags I use. I've used like 3 or 4 different companies' bags, and I constantly return to the Allplay ones as the best bags out there. They have a nice clean look to them. They hold up well. They have their wheel bag, which definitely is heavier. Know what you're getting yourself into, but it's on wheels. It's basically a carry-on board game bag. So they have a variety of different bags. Check them out at allplay.com. They also have these lightweight bags. Honestly, I'm not quite as much of a fan of those. I like the premium feel of their bigger ones, but if you are wanting something on a budget that carries a fewer games, it's definitely an option worth checking out. But you can check out all of that. Check it out at allplay.com. But with that, we're going to start off with our content creators. Now, I will say, I do have these ranked. Ranked is the wrong terminology. I'm doing these in order from least to most subscribers. The reason I'm doing that is because basically every YouTube stat out there shows that the longer a video goes on, the more people drop off from watching the video. And so I figure that the channels at the end already have more subscribers, so they need your extra views less. So for those of you who only made their way this far into the video, honestly, you have to spend 2.5 minutes hearing me talk about everything else before getting to the first content creator, so maybe that's a bit on me. But anyways, those who don't make their way to the end is the higher subscriber tiers. I also will note, I'll give a little mini shout out to the Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is a channel that I do watch and enjoy. I'm not including them in this because I just did a full video of the Dice Tower. I want to talk about other channels instead. So I'm going to start off with the smallest channel, a new channel, How I Roll. 837 subscribers. Ryan previously did work, if I'm not mistaken, on Board Game, the Board Game Boy, if I'm not mistaken. Oh my gosh, the Game Boy Geek, or the Board Game, I can never remember, I apologize. But Ryan's been doing work on that channel, but Ryan started his own channel recently called How I Roll. The main thing I will talk about here, the thing I think you should pay attention to, is he does these small, very to the point, very focused reviews that have all that B-roll, that if you watch my channel and you want that B-roll, he has that B-roll, he has that great presentation, he has a great overview, he keeps it succinct. I mean, like, some of his videos are as long as my intro to this video. They're fast, to the point, cover the games well. I definitely recommend checking them out if you have a chance, because I think that Ryan delivers excellent content in a short, accessible format with all those graphics that you want. It's a great start to a channel. Hope he continues strong. It's always one of the challenges in the board game space, is always continuing onwards with the same level of energy and attention and detail that you started with. And I can count a lot of channels that over the years I have shuttered out and then didn't necessarily have that same level of, well, either content in general or the same type of content the longer they went down the road. I wish Ryan all the best in this journey, because he's starting off very strong, very well. Again, pick any of these games that you are possibly interested in. Fortunes of Scoundrel Bay, Ember Heart, Millennia Tracks of Time. Pick a game that you are interested in and watch that video, and you'll see what I'm talking about. There's not a ton of content. It's a new channel, but it's one worth paying attention to. We have Neon Gorilla. I've talked about Neon Gorilla a few times. I think his videos are excellent. I think he does a great mix of content. He also started his own kind of board game site as well. Check that out if you're interested. You can talk about it. Where does he talk about it? He talks about it in like one of his, like, I built a board game play assistant. He previously called that app, I think. I think he changed the title of that video. But either way, he has a bunch of content out there, from very high level reviews that dive into things, to commentary on the board game space, to top lists. He does, like, a tier rank all the 2025 games. He does a lot of different content, and I think he does a great job in his presentation. He does a great job in his graphics and overviews. He does a great job in the variety of topics he covers. Neon Gorilla is a channel that I found, I don't know, whenever he started. 211 videos. I did not realize you're up to 211. That's a lot of videos. But yeah, check it out for a wide mix of high quality content. BoardGameBollocks. BoardGameBollocks, Carly, she's also over on Instagram. That's her larger audience is over on Instagram. But I mean, don't get me wrong, I appreciate her reels, but this is not talking about Instagram content. I should do a video talking about other content. I'll do that later. For right now, focusing on YouTube, her YouTube videos are great. She just started a series, which I haven't started yet. I need to watch it. The Great Board Game Purge of 2026. She's purging through her collection. I need to watch those because I love those kinds of videos in general. I love watching why people keep or don't keep things. So I need to watch that whole series and see how that went. But there's a lot of content here. Again, there's review content covering games overall. I find her content, like, it's interesting. I say this with no disrespect to content creators in general. Sometimes there's a lot of content creators who act more as referral channels. They're just telling you the games they like. They're not telling you things to be critical of. They're just there to tell you things I like. And Carly does a good job of being willing to, like, say, like, this didn't work for me. She's very polite about it. She's very nice about it. But she will say these things didn't work for me. Give me a second. I'm about to have an interruption. Yes, buddy?
So can you feel spillage?
Not right now, because I told you I'm doing a video. So I said you have to wait till I'm done with the video, okay? Can I do it after?
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay. Oh, no, you're taking Elfie upstairs? Oh, she's gonna bite you. Oh, she's bite. Okay.
Yeah, I can't be.
Oh, maybe leave her alone. Maybe leave her alone. You might get scratched. No, I know, you might get scratched. Sorry, guys. I mean, some of you enjoy this. Alright, enjoy. Anyways, back to Carly. Honestly, how fitting is it that the child interruption happened now? It worked out well. Anyways, Carly content is great. Her energy is up there. Her willingness to be, like, to say, like, this didn't work for me as well, and this was a game that I wanted to like, but I didn't like X or Y. I really appreciate that. So overall, highly recommend the channel. I definitely recommend her Instagram, but I'll talk about Instagram another time. But she also has Kim on the channel, Carly and Kim. They're both great, and I think the content, again, is a nice variety of content, from top 10 lists, purging the collection. I don't know if there's much conversational stuff, but it's just a good mix of content that I really enjoy. Check out BoardGameBollocks. Then over here we have BigPasti. BigPasti is probably, or is it BigPasti? I don't actually know. Is it BigPasti or BigPasti? I have no idea. I'm trying to think if he says it in the videos, and I just don't know. But either way, check out his content. It's tremendous. He has incredible things. Like, I made $9,000 on board game YouTube. This is a great video. Highly recommend watching this. What about that other Stormare games? That was a fun one. The language of crowdfunding, that was a great video. Gelman Amnesia, this, by the way, Gelman Amnesia in general, fascinating concept if you haven't heard of it, but it really, like, it's one of the things you want to hold on to the concept of what it is so often, and you so often forget. Great concept, and he applies to board games. There's such a great twist on the way he covers things. It's mostly topical videos, almost always topical videos, but I love the general presentation. I love the essay style. I love the directness. He has an upcoming crowdfunding campaign that he'll be doing at some point. I'm very curious to see how that will go. In general, BigPasti, or BigPasti, I have no idea, is one of my new favorite channels with incredible content. Only 31 videos, but some of his videos have really blown up. He had one that went crazy. I think this is how I found him way back when. Where was it? It was not this one. The 6 levels of board game asymmetry? No, not that one. That was a good one. That was a very good one. I don't remember what his first video that really did well was. I don't remember. Maybe it was the 6 levels of board game asymmetry. Maybe that was that one. I feel he had a bigger one, but I could be wrong. No, I don't know. Maybe I'm losing it. Am I losing my mind? Let's go to popular. Let's go sort by popular. The 10 levels of board game complexity. That's what it was. I couldn't see it for some reason. 620,000 views. That's incredible. My highest watched video is like 130,000, something like that. This is an insane differential. But his content deserves that. He puts out these videos that are really, really, really well done. Pick a video. Pick any of the ones I talked about. They are top quality videos. Again, I hope, one of the things, whenever I see a new channel, I hope they stick around. I hope he continues to put out these kinds of videos because they are such a joy to watch. Whenever they pop up in my feed, I watch them. They're great. Then we have Room and Board. Room and Board, the first regular, like I mentioned, I have like a summer. I guess Carly I've talked about a bunch. So Room and Board over here. Chris George, Room and Board. Fantastic channel. I still enjoy and watch this stuff to this day. Again, it's one of those things where I go in and out on different content creators. There are so many content creators absolutely fantastic, and sometimes I just don't watch them for a bit, and so it's off my current what am I enjoying. But Room and Board, Chris George, he just did his Best $1 Million Campaigns 2025. That was great. I actually missed the worst one. I didn't watch the worst one. I need to watch the worst one. Is Arc Nova in there? Oh my gosh, I have to watch that. His State of the Channel, I thought that was fantastic. I love State of the Channel videos in general. I like that conversational approach. The top 2025 crowdfunding campaigns. Again, there's a lot of stuff. There's video playthroughs, as he says in the State of the Channel. Not his highest performing content, but he enjoys doing them. There's so much good stuff in general. Then there's quirky stuff, actors rank games. Chris George is a delightful human being. His channel is great. His community is great. He has built all those things because he's a great person with a stunning personality and an even better smile. The smile is honestly like a little too much sometimes, but like, you know, it's got to be there. But overall, Women Board, check out his channel. Watch, if you watch one of the, like, I mean, State of the Channel might be only good for fans. I don't know. Sometimes I don't know whether something, like when I say BigPasti or Pasty, still don't know, almost any of those videos are going to be a good video. Sometimes though, you don't necessarily know. Like State of the Channel, I really enjoyed. One of my favorite recent Chris George videos was the State of the Channel, but that's possibly something that might be better for fans. I don't know. I'm trying to think of what's a good video he did. That was his crowdfunding countdown is a regular series where he just talks about crowdfunding ending soon. But yeah, maybe watch the best $1 million campaigns, or actually I'm more inclined to watch the worst one. I just somehow missed that one. Anyways, from there we have the Dragon's Tomb. Now I did debate including the Dragon's Tomb here or not, and the reason for that is because Jeff from the Dragon's Tomb, anytime he puts up a video, I mean, he has over here the board game sex doll review. That's a great video over there. Not your usual board game content. He does these videos that anytime they pop up, I watch them. I watch every single video he does. I think every single video. Actually, that's not true. I didn't watch his Doomlings review. I watch a lot of his content. His content is hilarious, it is funny, it is satirical for those who do not know. Maybe I shouldn't have said that, but it's satirical. It's satirical for those who do not know. The only reason I debated putting him is because he did like one video in the past year, so like it's not really the most active channel. He does have a backlog you can go through, so you can go ahead and watch any of his 152 videos, and there's a lot of high quality, funny, engaging content. Every board gamers, YouTubers, remember Run Rank Game? That's a great one. The lore behind the characters in Catan. There's so many good videos to watch on his channel, and they're almost all of them are entertaining, they're humorous, they're funny, and in their own way, even when not intended to be, they are their own kind of commentary on the board game space, which I find fascinating in its own right. Like some of these things, like the video that I discovered his channel on was a video about making everything metal in board games. I can't remember, it was about metal coins, whatever it was, but in their own way, it's a commentary on the board game space, and it's a great commentary on the board game space. Then we have All You Can Board. All You Can Board is a channel that I kind of found or whatever way back when, and they were on ups and downs. Like for a bit, they went for like maybe a 6-month period where they barely put out any videos, and it seemed like the channel had kind of gone away. But recently they've started up again in terms of jumping back into it full force. They've done a bunch of great videos, including one of the best videos I have watched ever. Where is it? Which one is it? Which one? No. 6 solo board games that changed solo gaming for me. This video over here, if you watch one video on the channel, start with that video. The combination of both the recommendations of the games, the essay style, the good presentation, the B-roll, the filming, they did such a great job. Like they've really jumped into it, diving. I believe they're trying to do it full time and seeing how that plays out. But overall, it's a great channel with great recommendations, great content, and they've really stepped it up. They were always fun to watch, but they stepped it up a notch recently since they've come back, and their videos are better put together, better filmed. They're just better across the board. So if you watched All You Can Board in the past and you know, were okay with it, definitely check it out now because the content has stepped up a notch. If you never heard of them until now, because again, they're a channel that I have watched, but I don't talk about them all the time. I've mentioned them here or there. But again, start with that 6 solo board games that changed solo gaming for me. Jump into any of their other things because I think their things are good across the board, but some are definitely going to be better than others. And recently, they have taken it to the next level. They talk about that a little bit in this channel update video, which again, I am a sucker for channel update videos. I don't know if they'll resonate with you. I like knowing what's going on in people's lives. I like that kind of like, you know, hey, here's a conversation, here's what I'm doing. It's why I do them myself, because I kind of try to make the content I enjoy consuming. And I mean, if you want to get me in, just do a channel update video. Any channel that I watch at all, if you do a channel update video and I haven't watched your videos in like a year, I will be right back there watching that video, finding out tell me what's going on. Where have you been? What have you been doing? I like those videos. From there we have the Board Game Garden, another one that I regularly talk about. Jenna's fantastic. She recently just redid her logo, so if you know, she redid her branding, logo, all that. But Jenna is just so chill to watch. I say at an incredibly, it's moments like this when I realize how fast I talk, because it feels wrong to talk as fast as I do when talking about Jenna's channel, because Jenna's channel is calm. It's zen-like. It's both in terms of the coverage she does for, like, you know, Enchanted Ivy, Mounting Legacy, all those not all play stuff. This is not an all play. This is an all play sponsored video. This is not an all play sponsored segment. Those are just the recent videos that popped up there. But her coverage of games in general is incredibly well done, well shot. When there's B-roll, it's good B-roll. When the presentation, the coverage, it's calm, it's informative. They're just well done videos. But that's not my favorite stuff on our channel, not by a long shot, because I like other kinds of stuff. I like, 2025 board game wrap up. I like the co-design of board game expansion. That was a great look into. She's been involved in the Mistwind expansion that's launching. In my timeline, Mistwind expansion is launching soon. I don't know when this video goes up, so I can't comment heavily on that. But in general, her content is just calming. It is such a fun journey to be on that, like, whether it's her vlogs, whether it's her solo Sundays, or her Christmas gift guide, any of these things, the board game room refresh and makeover, it's just good, calm, zen content. And as a bonus, we're going to throw in an 11th channel recommendation. For those of you who don't know about it, she has her own separate channel to how she started on YouTube, Jenna Rose over here, and it's just her lifestyle channel. She's not nearly as active on this. She did just do a video recently, but I think, like, the last video, there's like a year ago and then one from 4 days ago. So, like, a recent update, but this is not her main channel anymore. But it's the thing that started her in the YouTube space, and then from there she kind of pivoted to board games. I found her. Like, I found her. I discovered my first Board Game Garden video when she was dabbling in board game videos on her lifestyle channel. And then she slowly moved over. And, like, again, people who've been following her for long enough all know this, but I bet there's a lot of you who are watching this that had no idea of this lore and backstory of how Jenna joined the board game space and then restarted a new channel to focus on board games while occasionally dabbling in the occasional video over on her lifestyle channel. But again, highly recommend checking her out. I talk about her stuff a lot, but I still watch her stuff, and that's the big thing for me. BoardGameBollocks. BoardGameBollocks is great. I love BoardGameBollocks. He's so much fun. I had a chance to meet him at UKGE this past year. He's a delightful human being. His content is he's such a personality. That's the thing. Like, watching his channel, I shouldn't say never. I was about to say we'll never know, but maybe I'll know one day. But right now, I don't know how much of his channel is a personality for the sake of his channel and how much of it is just who he is. I don't know, because his personality is Grumpy Man Board Games, but he does it so well, and the most important thing is he does it with critical insight into board games, critical reviews that don't come across like I think his insights are on point. It's not like he makes up stuff to complain about. His complaints feel real and they seem real and they're based in reality. And whether I agree with them or not, I always think he has something insightful to say. He just comes across almost as like, hey, I'm going to find that complaint and I'm just going to no nonsense call it like it is and jump into it with no allowance for any opinion other than mine, which I appreciate that as almost as a form of entertainment. Either way, if you haven't found BoardGameBollocks yet, it's worth checking out because his content is, again, well done. It is both humorous to watch. It is incredibly well filmed. The lighting, the filming, it's so well done. His reviews are great. His commentary on the industry or his commentary on Board Game Geek, all of those things are fun to watch. If you haven't watched his videos, find a good video. Go to, what's the most popular video? I don't even know. This actually is a good way to do things in general. I don't even know if that's a good one. This is ARC's board game review. That was good. I don't know if the top 100, I don't know if I've watched this top 100. I don't know if I have, but I'm sure it's entertaining because all this stuff is entertaining. 10 board games you love, that you love, but we thought were, like, it's good stuff. Watch his channel if you haven't yet. There's a reason he has the subscribers he does. He has done incredibly well in terms of kind of capturing an element of the market where he's like a grumpy about things and critical about things, but without like. There are some channels who feel like their entire point is to. I'm gonna swear here. I apologize. So like I'll give you like 3, 2, 1. There's some channels out there that I feel like their entire goal is to just shit over everything else that's good. That they're like, oh, I'm the one who tells it like it is. I'm the truth. I'm the one who's like, willing to speak honesty to all you, and everyone else is lying to you. And there's some channels who just feel like, okay, we get it. You're just not fun. And that's not what this brand is, at least not to me. To me, BoardGameBollocks is, even when he hates things, it somehow manages to elevate the thing that he hates. Like, that's a talent. For you to crap all over a game, and for me to walk away feeling almost, not necessarily better about the game, but not even being turned off from buying the game. Like, maybe some things might turn me off, but I'll be like, hey, that was interesting. You clearly hated it, but let me try it. That's almost a talent in its own way. So BoardGameBollocks, definitely check it out, which brings us to number 1, which is Board Game Hangover. Board Game Hangover has been doing incredibly well. 63,000 subscribers, that is not a small number, and if you watch their videos, again, it's clear why. The two of them have such a good rapport as far as the way they communicate. Well, technically it's three of them, but primarily two of them, I think. Have such a good rapport as far as the way they communicate, how they talk about things. They have great video ideas as far as small little twists on, like, you know, the way they cover different things. Their B-roll's top-notch, the presentation is top-notch. I'm getting another interruption. Can you give me 2 minutes? No, I'm still filming. No, go upstairs. I'll be done in 2 minutes, buddy. Almost made it to the end. Almost made it to the end. Board Game Hangover. Yeah, they're a great channel with great content from their top 10 list, from their video ideas. Again, let's check out the popular best board games of all time. That's pretty straightforward. They had some really good, where are those? Gateway board games for non-gamers. Again, that's pretty standard. It's still a good idea. They've had some fun video titles. I'm trying to remember which ones there were that were very, very fun to watch, but I don't remember all that at all. I don't remember. But they're good. They're good content. If you picked any of these lists, you're doing fine. You have a good list with good presentation, with good B-roll, with good coverage of the games. There's a reason they have managed to grow to the extent that they have. I am very happy for the success that they've had, and again, when their videos pop up, I'm inclined to watch them because I know I'm in for an entertaining conversation between two people, or sometimes more, as well as good recommendations, or recommendations of things to stay away from, depending on the kind of video you're watching. But Board Game Hangover, definitely check them out. They are the highest subscribed from these ones that I want to talk about, but again, if you have missed them, you shouldn't. You shouldn't. Anyways, these are my top 10 board game channels. Not top 10. These are 10 board game channels that I find I regularly want to watch whatever it is they are putting out. There's a lot of channels out there. There's a lot more that I'll watch videos here and there. There's a lot that go in and out. And there's other content as well from Instagram, TikTok. I don't really do TikTok. Instagram. Okay, fine, Instagram. There's a lot of other content out there as well that I do engage with whenever. I will probably do a top 10 Instagram channels at some point because I think that could be interesting. But I do find I'm really more of a YouTube personality. Like I get pulled in by your personality on YouTube. Instagram's great for like funny skits and things like. We'll do Instagram another time. Anyways, these are 10 channels to check out if you haven't already. I'll have links to all of them down below. And until next time, I'm Alex Radcliffe from Board Game Co. I hope you enjoyed this video, and as always, I hope you have a good one.